Welcome to another episode of Tales from the Parade Route. So tonight we are actually remote.
Yeah, this is an unusual setting for us.
Yeah, we're out at the parade lineup announcement for the Krewe of Poseidon.
Yeah.
Always one of our favorites. Their captain is
Extraordinary captain.
Yeah, extraordinary captain.
I hate to say it this way, before Slidell parade, they really put on an amazing parade, and I'm not trying to put down Slidell at all. It's just the perception of what Slidell parades are isn't accurate when you start talking about Poseidon.
Yeah, I mean, every year they're bringing top tier bands. Their parade itself is always a very beautiful parade.
Yeah. I mean, it goes
they've
above
got
and beyond.
top-notch throws.
Yeah.
They've got a great membership. I think the last number that I heard
800
was a little bit over 850 actually.
Oh, is it? Okay.
They have like 27 floats. I think he said last time.
Well, he's kind of excited. I mean, beyond him being a very good, great captain, they really have enthusiastic members.
Yeah.
Everybody in their crew is just ready to have a good time, make the parade better, and I think they all do. They all bring a little something to the parade, and you can see it. They take pride in it, and that's their crew, and they're representing as much as they can do.
Yeah.
So,
well, I remember last year we were actually out here for their parade.
Yeah.
And the police officer who was guarding the front of the parade route.
Mm-hmm.
He saw us pulling in, and he was like, "Whoa, you can't park there." And we were like, "No." And once he saw us, he recognized who we were.
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, I'm actually a member of Poseidon, but
he was stuck working."
Yeah, he got stuck working, so he gave the ride to his son or something like that."
Yeah.
But the minute that we had mentioned the parade, you could tell even his pride in it, where he was like, "Man, I love this parade. It's a great parade."
Well, I think it's halfway become a matter of, here we go, we got a visitor.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you. How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, we're here at their meeting, and I mean, if you were to look at the crowd in the meeting itself, I mean, they've got several hundred people here.
I mean, I've been a member of some big crews, and this is probably the most people I've ever seen at a meeting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've been a member of some pretty large crews, so I mean, it just shows. I think the city and the members all take great pride in the parade. We know that Ronnie goes above and beyond with his float selection, his costume selection,
throws,
dance crew selections.
Yeah.
He has his criteria for everything, and he sticks to it, and it shows.
Yeah, I mean, again, not to be sounding like a brown noser or whatever, but
We are.
every time that I leave his parade, I always say that, that was an awesome parade.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he's trying to bring new things to it too. Last year he ran over and grabbed us and said,
right, yeah, with the fireworks.
Yeah, he had a whole fireworks display. He didn't even bother telling anybody about it. So I thought, he's trying to bring more excitement to it. That's really the great kickoff of Mardi Gras, except for, we don't have it this year, but, Little Rascals is typically our first large float parade.
Yeah.
But Poseidon will be this year. But it's a great kickoff for Mardi Gras. It's the first week, as I've been calling it, because it's really become 3 weeks of Mardi Gras
that weekend of Slidell has become an action-packed weekend to where you can stay from Friday to Sunday and not be disappointed on any of the days.
Titans is a fantastic parade. Celine the same weekend?
No,
confused.
Anthea is on the Sunday, and then just before Poseidon rolls, you got Bilge.
That's right. Yeah.
So I mean, You
I
can
heard
get
they really have some great judges this year. Really good guys.
really good
Really
judges.
fantastic, handsome guys.
Yeah, handsome fellas indeed. So we are moments away. Actually, they're going to be announcing their parade lineup, where they'll announce who all is in the parade.
Yeah.
With regards to the dance teams.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming also they'll be showing the the crowds, what their floats are going to look like, and when the floats, who the captains are of each float.
Yeah, so I think the purpose of this, they've so far gone over their ground rules.
Yeah.
Sort of like every parade, no smoking, no throwing bombs off the side of the float, and
But also,
no stage diving. But he gave them tips on how to be better riders, how to enjoy themselves more.
And also, it's like usually that speech for a captain is kind of like the airline speech, to where it's like, no one smoke on your float. Like he made it to where like everybody was laughing and
it's an obligatory speech. They have to make it every year. But there's new riders every year that may not know. I guess.
Yeah, but he did give them a lot of good tips as well.
Exactly.
As to how to make sure that you're not wishing that you were off of the float halfway through the parade. You know
preserving. The floats themselves, which makes later years of theirs all the better because, their expenses don't go up every year. And there's a lot of things they have to do, to maintain a good parade.
Well, also it makes it to where as the floats are getting, when you take care of the guts of the float, then the float designers can use... Instead of spending that money buying a new 2x4, they can use it to improve something else on the float to make it more beautiful,
His main point, I guess, when people put a lot of nails in boards, you damage that board to the point that they have to take it pretty quickly. I mean, if you figure that float rides in 10 parades in a year, that'd be destroyed. But to change that 2x4 is a matter of sometimes taking off outside fabric, which is a big rebuild. So the cost of a 2x4 may be minimal, but the cost of
you may only think that it's a $5 2x4, but it's like that whole repair into the float might be thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but the point of this meeting, I guess, was him to show everybody who the lineup was. What dance crews would be participating, what bands. And otherwise, I know he's probably got a trick or two up his sleeves with the dinosaurs.
Oh, I remember the first year he came. After the interview, he told us about the blow-up dinosaurs, and we were looking forward for the parade. And they were, if I remember, they were kind of to the back.
Yeah, I want to say they were basically the
and all of a sudden,
end.
We're looking, and I'd almost forgotten about them. And then you see this group of 40 blow-up Tyrannosauruses.
And it's a hilarious sight.
Yeah.
It really is. And if I recall, it came from some kid was meeting his grandfather at the airport in one, and he saw it on a video or whatever. It was like, need that for the parade, and just ordered them,
So I'm looking forward to seeing what the lineup is. I know we've kind of seen a few teasers of some of the
he's let the
groups.
cat out of the bag a little bit, but I don't know if the crew knows about him yet. So
I know there was like one or two of the crews, the dance teams that have made announcements.
Yeah,
where they've got like their
lineup for
their lineup picture showing, hey, we're going to be in this parade and this parade and that parade. So I know that we've seen a few of them, but we'll leave the suspense for when we get a chance to talk with Ronnie here in just a little bit.
Yeah, I just seen him roll out to you. He might be taking a little sabbatical himself, but Yeah, it looks like they're probably going to wind up here in a few minutes, and hopefully we'll get to talk to some of the new royalty, the outgoing royalty.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah. So stay tuned. Welcome back.
All right.
So one of our favorite parades. You said a couple times during your presentation, absolute truth.
Yeah, thanks for the love, by the way.
The fact that since year one we came out to your parade, and that first year we were like, let's see what this parade's all about. Since then, it is always on our list. We make darn well sure that when y'all's parade rolls off of the front line, we're here. We would not want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, we actually loved when you moved it to the nighttime because that gave us time to go see Bilge. But I mean, those are both, polar opposite of parades, but all part of Mardi Gras, all part of Carnival.
Full day.
But like I was telling you guys, I love a night parade. I think it just shines better. You can do more with your art and lights and throws and everything else. Everything glistens more. It's just, to me, people have their preference. I prefer a night parade. So when you move to the nighttime, I was excited about it. But yeah, I mean, we've been to 9 parades now?
Yeah.
9? And
Since year one.
It's been fun to watch your crew grow. I'm not blowing smoke. I think you're one of the best captains in all of Mardi Gras.
Thank you.
You really
I agree with that.
go above and beyond with every aspect of it, and it shows in the final result.
So we actually just got to see y'all's lineup, and we have the captain, and we have this year's king and queen. All hail Poseidon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, what's y'all's thoughts going? I mean, we're roughly about 2 weeks away from y'all's parade.
Quick.
Wow.
So what's going through the royalties' minds, as you prepare for your ride?
Well, I mean, I'm so excited, like I said earlier on the stage. This crew has meant so much to Chris and I. We've met so many people, and we've become such good friends with so many people. So to be able to do that with a very large group of friends is how you feel.
Yeah.
On the parade day is amazing. It's so exciting.
Yeah, and it's a little different, I think, being a suburban parade, the sense of community that you build. These are people like Giselle said that we've become friends with, but we're very close to people in this parade that we didn't even know before we started, and
Right.
We do things together on the weekends. We spend time together. We care about each other. We know each other's children. It's a little bit different, maybe than other organizations that you're involved with, and it really goes back to leadership, like you said. And I think it starts with Ronnie, our captain. He's done a tremendous job of the leadership over the years. When we started this, I rode an all-male parade here in Slidell and really loved it and enjoyed it. But when I got the call and they said, we're thinking about doing this, and is this something you'd be involved with? I said, 100% I'm in. I want to make sure that I get to do this with Giselle, and we get to do this together. And so we're in. We're lifers. And it's really about the leadership, and we're very grateful.
Yeah, and y'all have, an amazing parade that you're leading. Watching the lineup, I was telling Ronnie moments ago, y'all have some of my favorite dance teams of all time. One of them being from when I was this tall high, to this tall high. There's and the quality and the beauty of y'all's floats. The quality of the throws that I know that y'all throw. From years past, and I know that it's every year it only gets cooler.
Band selection too. Bands are big for me, and I like the big marching bands. And you're right about the band that changed the name. I can't think of it now, but they were spectacular last year. They came out of nowhere, and I was like, man, those guys just rocked. And everybody, when they passed, everybody's just it was a very, very good band, and they're young.
They're young.
They all
They're
seem.
young, and
They were a Keeley,
amazing.
now they're Mildred Osborne.
Mildred
Yeah.
Osborne, yes, thank you. And yeah, they were fantastic. But you had the two colleges, all the local bands, which all those guys are really good. So, I mean, great parade from start to finish. And we were wondering what your surprise element's going to be, because I know you have something up your sleeve. You don't have to tell me. I'll wait.
Look, that's the other thing I want to say is these guys, the board and Ronnie, I talk to those guys all the time, and they have been so innovative with what we're able to pull off in the suburban setting. It's not a suburban parade; it's a parade.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a New Orleans parade when you come here, and I'm extremely proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that y'all have 800 and
We got a photo bomber.
50-ish members, I believe was the last number that I heard from you was
By the way, both
around
Cash Royalty are
850.
photo bombers.
825, 830,
Yeah.
somewhere in that range.
And as we saw, 26 floats.
26,
with,
quite a few are tandems.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be an amazing parade.
Should be good.
Tell us a little bit about the theme.
So it's a child's imagination. So as you saw, I bump you there.
Are you good?
Portable. Child imagination. So as you saw, most of the floats this year are going to fall in line with that theme. So it was kind of important to us. So you'll see some of the throws that are kind of centered around that as well as many that are Poseidon-esque.
Yeah.
So one of the, as we talked before, one of the reasons we went with Poseidon, we're surrounded by water everywhere here, and we knew that anything that we ever wanted to do with the parade or throws could always be all the sea creatures. So you'll always see those come off the float.
Yeah.
So it makes it pretty nice for us. So
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the subjects of your floats, seeing it be, some of the childhood classic stories that we all grew up on, from superheroes and the Flintstones to classic books, and even some of the books and TV shows of today, with like the Paw Patrol and Harry Potter's.
Well, we wanted a lot of stories that all ages would, be able to identify with.
Yeah.
So there's things out there like Spider-Man that we've all grown up with, but kids today as well know. So there's not going to be a float where anybody says, I don't know who that character is.
Yeah.
They'll recognize all of them. So that's important to us as well, to stay in theme.
Yeah, and I mean, y'all locked it down to, a grand slam, shall we say? You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And from the designs of the floats that we saw, it looks like it's going to be from front to end, a beautiful parade. Something briefly that you mentioned that at the beginning of your presentation was the fireworks display. That's something that was so amazing last year, and we literally found out about it from you, moments before the parade.
You were walking up, you were like, follow me. I'm like, all right. So I followed you.
Well, that was
I'm
by
not sure you
accident that I
bothered
stumbled
telling
on you.
anybody.
And that worked
Nah,
out
you
well. but-
sought me out. I appreciate it.
Well, as I said, we didn't want to divulge that last year. We didn't want to tell anybody because, what if there's some miscommunication? What if it doesn't happen? What if we don't fire them? We're going to look kind of silly.
Yeah.
So we went up and, we met with the chief of police, and we had the little TNT box, and we had him just kind of, pretend to open, and we had it all timed, and, shortly after he did that, you saw the fireworks go off. So it worked out pretty well in timing.
Yeah.
A lot of the people around there, we got them to do the countdown for us, and all the people around there kind of got a sense of what we were doing. Many of the people down Pontchartrain Drive, they heard it, they looked, and they're like, hey, that's pretty cool. So now that it worked, now we'll actually announce it. So we'll tell everybody, hey, you're out barbecuing, you're out having family and friends out, having fun, and as soon as you don't have to look for the spotlight, as soon as you hear and see those fireworks,
Run
We're
out.
rolling.
The parade is rolling.
I
Yeah.
have to tell you though, I went up there with you, and you were standing there with the TNT box, but you were standing right in front of like a confetti blaster.
yeah.
Everybody behind me was like, the confetti blaster is about to go off. And I, of course, knew it was about to happen, so I didn't want to spoil the surprise. But I was like, it's going to be better. It's going to be a big confetti explosion. Because there was a little kid just jumping up and down. He wanted to run underneath the confetti cannon and wait for it to come out. I'm like, no, stay here. So, yeah, you did bring a big surprise to that crew. And
Good. Yeah, it'll be back. It'll be back. And
funny.
and now we want to make that a tradition now. So if we can incorporate that in, and just a little twist.
Yeah.
Something we said from day one. We're like, you look at a lot of not just crews, but a lot of organizations, and they have a lot of traditions. But a lot of those traditions didn't start until later on. Like, let's start at day one. Let's come up with traditions. So we've always tried to do that, and this is just one more that we wanted to add, just something unique.
Yeah.
We're putting on a show for the people out there. That's what this is all about.
So remind everyone, where can people follow the crew?
So they can go. We actually, when the parade comes by, if they're watching this year, you'll see our little QR code. They can click on that, and it'll take them right to the website. But PoseidonSlidell.com, they can find all the information there. We're all over social media, so if you just look for Poseidon on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram or so, you're going to find us on all those. And we have a YouTube channel also. So if you miss a parade or want to see a previous version of a parade, go right on our YouTube channel, and you can find all those. And I think quite often when those pop up, they pop up with you as well, because a lot of things end up getting linked around.
Yeah.
So they can see a lot of the groups that march with us, because theirs are going to pop up right there as well. So it's a good source.
And a lot of the groups that y'all have, we've had the honor of getting to interview with them, and I mean, I can guarantee y'all going to have a great parade.
You picked some of the most fun groups. I mean, between the Stompers, Amigos, Milkshakers,
The Weedads,
the Weedads, the Nautical Girls. I mean, they're all a blast. I mean, on a personal level, they're great people. They all do good things for the community, and they're just fun. They put on a good show. So
that's important to us. And then, of course, many of us who grew up in the area and went to New Orleans parades since we were little, we know, and I scout all the groups. There's some groups that you really like, but they're more adult groups than they are. And, we always promote Slidell parades as a very family-friendly environment. So, some groups out there that I like, I'll go see, but might not invite them to the parade just simply because, so I'm very pleased with who we get. We get some great groups, and they do. If you explore what they do throughout the year, a lot of them are fantastic. Just like said with the Shriners, they'll have a couple of their patients as in our grandstand this year. They bring every year, and that's fabulous. If we can make their day or their evening, that's great.
Speaking of, you mentioned the word grand, it made me think y'all also have a grand marshal this year.
We do. And I was hoping he was going to make it tonight, but Braden Joe Bear is our Grand Marshal. And he is a North Shore High School graduate from here in Slidell. And he went on to LSU and won a national championship this year. So hoping that he's going to be able to walk around that day and show people that nice little ring he's got. But he'll be on our first
tie
float.
It down on there.
That's what I was thinking.
But also his
Yeah.
family. His family's been ingrained in the Slidell community for generations, and they're great people. They're a very, very well-known family. His father Jacques played baseball at Nichols, and also I think he was an all-decade Southland Conference baseball player at Nichols. So he's very well known down in the Bayou, but he's also very well known here because he's been a coach here. Owned the North Shore Baseball Academy in different places here. So all the Little League kids all know them. They know the family. They know his grandfather. They knew his grandmother. His sister just graduated from North Shore last year and was the shortstop, I think, on that softball team there. His mom's well known in the community. So it's great to have that entire family involved. We couldn't be happier having Braden be the Grand Marshal of the year that we're King and Queen. We were very, very fortunate to have that happen.
Yeah, he's everything that I've read about him, he is a class act.
He is.
Yes.
He really is.
And like most moms, I think his mom was more excited about him being
right.
that's
Yeah.
my baby.
Right.
So, she's happy. She's good.
Speaking of parenting, did you realize we have a husband and wife King and Queen, which is very unusual in all of Mardi Gras? I'm not sure. I know of another instance, It may have happened, but I don't know.
Well,
But,
with Poseidon, we've always had husband and wife.
Every year.
Oh, is
Every
it?
year. So
That's true.
It's not a rule, but it's
I didn't
felt
know
that way.
that.
Right.
So it is a little different, but I do understand that, and I think we were talking about this
Yeah.
beforehand. I mean, and it's a challenge for Ronnie because most kings and queens ride separately, and we ride together, and I wouldn't want it any other way, frankly, and I don't think Giselle would either. I mean, we've been together since I was 20 and she was 19, and we met. I was a sophomore in college; she was a freshman.
I mean, one of the first things we did when we started dating, it was like 2 weeks later.
Mardi Gras.
We went to Mardi Gras in New Orleans for like the
Yeah.
week with his
Oh,
family.
he's a keeper.
My family.
Yeah, and I was like, okay,
So I've got
this is
I got to tell a
it.
story.
We
So
love Mardi Gras.
I took her to the first parade, and as you can see, of those that are watching on the video, that Giselle's not a large person, so I put her on my shoulders, and my family's a sports family, baseball family, and she missed every cup that was thrown at her.
Oh no.
So we took her back into the hotel
I had to
suite.
have lessons.
This is not a joke. We took her back to the hotel
this is
suite.
real.
I put her on my shoulders.
This is
and
every
my
year.
My friends got in all different parts of the suite and threw cups at her from all different directions
All
until
angles
she learned.
until I could get it. I was like,
One of those friends, Mark Boudreau, actually just started riding with us last year in Poseidon.
and he comes from Homa.
Comes from home.
You only have to throw this
Gotcha.
year.
Okay, that's good. But
You probably make
I
a
have to
pretty
say,
decent soccer goalie at this point.
She learned to catch.
I'm not very good at throwing either.
Cups are the hardest things to
unfortunately.
They bounce and
They're the hardest things to catch. They're
feel they
spinning, they're-
seem like they're going to be right there.
They're all different angles and different. They're coming at you in all
I mean,
different
I
ways.
had to learn. We
You
were
had beer in
going to
this
Bacchus, we're
hand.
going to Endymion. It was like, so I got it. I got it.
So have y'all
Silly
been walking around the house ruling the kids with a iron fist, like clean the room, I declare.
Yeah, I decree that you clean your room.
Our son, he's our 16-year-old is still at home. We have one that's in college at Louisiana Tech, and so he might not be as excited about it, but the 16-year-old is. He's really excited, and he's actually going to ride on They allow our family to ride on the float with us.
Okay.
So that's really unique and such a great experience for us as a family. Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy your rain and
Thank you. It's been so much fun.
no rain. I mean,
Thank you.
Right.
The
We
other
don't
rain.
speak of that in the house. That's,
Yeah.
that's a rule that I
Yeah.
have. I'm like, we can't put it out in the
Exactly.
universe. I have a Margaret R. candle that I'm going to light all week.
So I wish y'all, an amazing ride. I look forward to seeing y'all, and that's not just me buttering you up. Every year we get giddy on y'all's parade day.
yeah, it's the
Because-
start of our run that's going to go on for 3 weeks, and plus, it's a good
And-
way to go.
Yeah. It's always an amazing time. If you've never been, listeners, I would strongly suggest take that Saturday. Come on out to Slidell. Enjoy a great parade. Krewe of Poseidon.
Ooh,
So-
I have to ask one more question. I saw your new crest. Are you guys happening to do a doubloon?
We
will.
actually are.
We do
So-
have a doubloon. Yes.
So we did.
Yes.
We actually we created we created the crest. We wanted to do something special. And when is this going to air? Let me ask you that question.
Probably in the next week or two.
Probably
We
next
can
week.
wait
We
if-
can say it. I think.
Well, you could say it, yeah.
So one of the things we wanted to do is we wanted to create a royalty logo that could be used again if other royalty wants to
If
use
they
it.
wanted to use
So
it.
we're gonna give it to the other royalty, and so they can use it on different things and different items.
change
But-
out the name
So
and
we
the
have
number.
doubloons. We have makeup bags that'll be a signature throw with the crest on it coming off the float. We have wine cups for the adults, plastic wine cups. We wanted to do things that were reusable, so
Yeah.
not just beads. And,
Insulated cups.
insulated tumblers. We will also have light up yo-yos, stuffed dolphins, and then also stuffed mermaids.
Okay.
And they'll have everything will have the logo on it, and so we're excited about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I know all the doubloon
So
guys
excited.
will be excited. We're both doubloon guys.
I-
Well, that's the, listen,
Are
that's
you?
the one thing he
Huge
said to
collector.
me. He said, look, you can order anything you want, but the one thing I have to have is a doubloon.
Amen.
Yeah.
So there you
I'll
go.
have
coming
I
back.
have a treat for you. I'll have to get it to you though. And I didn't know I was going to run into a doubloon guy today.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I'll get it to you.
Great.
We'll make sure
Thank
you guys get our
Yeah.
throws.
Have a
Yeah.
great ride. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
thank
really
you.
look forward to
Thanks
it.
for the opportunity.
No,
Yeah.
thanks for y'all's
Yeah.
time. I know this is a busy night for you.
No, we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys.
Yes.
I know you catch it right at the beginning, so
Yeah.
we'll find you.
Yeah, we're literally right at the sign where it says you may begin
You can start throwing here.
Through here.
So, all hail Poseidon.
Thank you.
Signing out. We will see you on the route. Thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to check out tonight's guests online. You can check them out at links all listed over here. Also, if you like us, you can support us. You go to our website, you can purchase our shirts and couple
beautiful
other
things.
couple other goodies that we have out there. And be sure to follow us online as well. The links are all over here. And while you're at it, be sure to click that subscribe button down there and the little bell to stay in touch on when we put out new content. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the route.